You press your finger into your ankle, and the dent stays there. Your shoes feel tight by afternoon, even though they fit fine in the morning. Your legs feel heavy, uncomfortable, and by evening you just want to sit down and not move. If any of that sounds familiar, you are not alone. Foot and ankle swelling is one of the most common complaints I hear from adults over 60. But here is what most people never get told. Swollen feet are not just uncomfortable, they are a signal. And the cause determines everything: what fixes it, what makes it worse, and in some cases, whether it requires medical attention tonight. In this video, I am going to walk you through exactly why your feet swell, how to identify what is causing yours specifically, and a complete step-by-step bedtime routine that helps drain that fluid overnight, safely and effectively. Let us start with the most important part: understanding what is actually happening. Why feet swell after 60? Fluid swelling, called edema, happens when excess fluid accumulates in the tissue between your cells. In the lower legs and feet, this is almost always related to one of 5 causes, and identifying which one applies to you is the most important step, because the right approach for one cause can be the wrong approach for another. Here is how to tell them apart. The most common type is gravitational edema, fluid that pools in your feet simply because you have been sitting or standing for long periods and circulation is not moving it back up efficiently. This type gets worse as the day goes on and is noticeably better in the morning after lying down all night. The second type is venous insufficiency, where the small valves inside your leg veins that normally prevent blood from flowing backward become weakened. Blood pools in the lower leg. This type often affects one leg more than the other, comes with a sense of heaviness, and sometimes causes visible vein changes or brownish skin discoloration around the ankles. The third type is medication-related swelling. Dozens of commonly prescribed medications cause fluid retention as a direct side effect, including certain blood pressure medications, anti-inflammatories, steroids, and some diabetes drugs. If your swelling began or noticeably worsened within a few weeks of starting a new medication, this is likely your cause. The fourth type is lymphatic swelling, where the vessels that drain excess fluid from your tissues are not functioning properly. This feels different. The skin feels thick and tight, and when you press on it, the dent does not bounce back quickly. And the fifth type, the one that requires immediate medical attention, is swelling caused by the heart or kidneys not functioning properly. This type affects both legs equally, often extends up past the ankles into the calves, and is accompanied by shortness of breath, unusual fatigue, or changes in urination. When to seek immediate help? Before we go further, I need to be very direct about something. Some swelling requires a doctor, not a bedtime routine. If your swelling came on suddenly in one leg, especially with pain, warmth, or redness, go to the emergency room today. A blood clot in the leg is a medical emergency. It can travel to the lungs. If your swelling is in both legs and comes on rapidly over a few days, and you are also experiencing shortness of breath or difficulty breathing when lying flat, call your doctor or go to urgent care. These can be signs of heart or kidney problems that need prompt evaluation. If your swelling is accompanied by chest pain or a feeling you cannot get enough air, call emergency services immediately. The bedtime protocol I am about to describe is designed for chronic, gradual, bilateral swelling, the kind that builds slowly over months and has no emergency warning signs attached to it. If any of the situations I just described apply to you, please address those first. For everyone else, let us talk about the overnight protocol. Step 1. Proper leg elevation. The first and most foundational step is leg elevation, but done correctly. Most people elevate incorrectly and wonder why it is not working. Here is the key distinction. Your feet need to be higher than your heart, not level with it. That means at least 10 to 12 inches above the mattress surface. A single flat pillow under your ankles does not achieve this. You need either a foam wedge designed for leg elevation, which supports the entire leg from ankle to mid-thigh, or a stack of firm pillows arranged the same way. The goal is a gentle incline of approximately 20 to 30 degrees, with your knees slightly bent rather than locked straight. When your legs are elevated properly, gravity reverses its effect. The fluid that accumulated in your feet and ankles throughout the day begins draining back toward your core, where your kidneys can filter it out. This is why many people who do this correctly wake up needing to urinate more during the night. That is not a problem. That is the protocol working. You are literally eliminating the excess fluid your body has been holding in your legs. The elevation needs to be maintained throughout the night, not just for an hour before sleep. Consistency of position is what produces results. Step 2. Daytime compression, nighttime drainage. Compression stockings work, but the timing matters enormously, and most people get it backwards. You wear compression stockings during the day to prevent fluid from pooling in the first place. You remove them at night while your legs are elevated to allow maximum fluid drainage. The compression level is measured in millimeters of mercury. For mild to moderate swelling, 15 to 20 millimeters of mercury is appropriate. For more significant swelling or diagnosed venous insufficiency, 20 to 30 millimeters of mercury is usually recommended, and this level often requires a prescription. The most critical timing detail: put your compression stockings on before you get out of bed in the morning, before your feet touch the floor. The moment you stand, gravity begins pulling fluid downward. Putting them on after you have already been walking for 10 minutes reduces their effectiveness significantly. Keep them next to your bed. When you wake up, before standing, put them on while still lying down with your legs elevated. Wear them throughout the day, remove them before bed. That cycle of daytime compression and nighttime elevation is the core mechanical strategy for managing gravitational and venous swelling. Step 3. Self-lymphatic drainage massage. 5 minutes before bed, perform this simple self-massage sequence to prime your lymphatic system for overnight drainage. The technique is gentle, much lighter than most people expect. You are not pressing deeply into muscle tissue. The lymphatic vessels are very close to the skin's surface. Light, slow strokes are what activate them. Begin at your upper thigh. Using both hands, make slow, sweeping strokes from mid-thigh upward toward your groin, where major lymph nodes are located. 10 slow strokes. Move to the knee area. Sweep from the knee upward toward the thigh. 10 strokes. Move to the lower leg. Sweep from the ankle upward toward the knee. 10 strokes. Then the foot. Gentle thumb strokes from the toes toward the ankle. 10 on the top of the foot, 10 on the sole. Repeat the entire sequence 3 times. Total time is approximately 5 minutes. Do this on both legs every evening before getting into bed. It manually encourages fluid movement out of the tissue and into lymphatic channels, where the body can process it during sleep. Step 4. Smart hydration and sodium reduction. This one surprises people. If your legs are swollen, why would you drink more water? Because dehydration makes swelling worse, not better. When your body senses it is low on water, it activates fluid retention hormones and tells your kidneys to hold on to sodium and water. The swelling increases. Proper hydration allows your kidneys to function normally and release excess fluid. The strategy is to distribute your water intake wisely. Drink most of your fluids between waking up and about 5 p.m. Taper off in the evening and stop drinking about 2 hours before bed, except for medications. The more impactful change is sodium. Sodium causes your body to hold water, and most adults consume far more than they realize, primarily through processed foods, canned goods, restaurant meals, and deli products. Reducing daily sodium to under 1,500 milligrams, and ideally closer to 1,000 milligrams for people with significant swelling, produces dramatic results within 1 to 2 weeks for most people. Cook from scratch. Use herbs and spices instead of salt. Read labels carefully. This single change, done consistently, often produces more visible improvement than any other step on this list. Step 5. 2 evidence-backed supplements. 2 supplements have meaningful published evidence for reducing fluid-related leg swelling. The first is magnesium glycinate, 400 milligrams taken before bed. Magnesium supports healthy circulation and fluid regulation, and most adults over 60 are deficient in it. The glycinate form is well absorbed and gentle on digestion. The second, specifically for venous insufficiency, is horse chestnut seed extract. Multiple clinical studies have found it reduces leg swelling, heaviness, and aching, comparable in effect to compression stockings. The dose is 300 milligrams twice daily of a standardized extract. Take it with food. These are not quick fixes. They work best when combined with the other steps in this protocol and used consistently over several weeks. Always check with your physician or pharmacist before adding supplements, particularly if you take blood thinners or have kidney disease. Medications that cause swelling. This section could be the most important part of this entire video for some of you, because if medication is the cause of your swelling, no elevation or compression will fully resolve it. The number one culprit is a blood pressure medication called amlodipine, and other medications in the same calcium channel blocker family. This class of medication causes ankle swelling in up to 30% of people who take it. If you take a calcium channel blocker and you have ankle swelling, mention this specifically to your doctor. There are effective alternative blood pressure medications that do not cause this side effect. Anti-inflammatory pain medications, including ibuprofen and naproxen, affect kidney function in a way that causes fluid retention, and this is especially significant in older adults. If you take these regularly, speak with your doctor about alternatives. Steroids, such as prednisone, cause significant sodium and water retention. If you are on steroids for a chronic condition, ask your doctor whether your dose can be reduced. Some diabetes medications and certain antidepressants can also contribute to swelling in some individuals. The important action here: bring a list of all your current medications to your next doctor's appointment and ask specifically, which of these might be contributing to fluid retention in my legs? That one conversation could resolve months of swelling. The complete nightly routine. Here is how to put it all together into a simple evening sequence. With dinner, keep sodium minimal. Cook from fresh ingredients. By 7 to 8 p.m., finish your main fluid intake for the day. Around 9 p.m., spend 5 minutes doing the lymphatic drainage massage I described, both legs, 3 complete sequences. Take your magnesium glycinate supplement. If you are using horse chestnut extract, take your evening dose with a small amount of food. Get into bed with your leg elevation wedge or pillows properly arranged. Feet and legs supported at 20 to 30 degrees, higher than your heart. Knees slightly bent. In the morning before standing, put on your compression stockings. Follow this sequence every night for at least 2 full weeks before evaluating results. Improvement typically becomes noticeable within 3 to 5 days, significant change by 2 weeks, maximum benefit by 4 to 6 weeks of consistent practice. Fall risk, an important reminder. One thing most people never connect to foot swelling is fall risk, and I want to mention it directly. Swollen feet change your gait. They reduce your ability to feel the ground accurately. They often mean wearing looser, poorly fitting shoes that create tripping hazards. While your swelling is being addressed, be especially cautious. Use handrails on stairs. Wear shoes that fit your feet as they are right now, even if that means a temporarily larger size. Clear walkways at home of anything that could catch a foot. Move deliberately, without rushing. As the swelling resolves, your stability and ground sensation will improve, but during the transition, vigilance matters. Foot and ankle swelling is your body communicating something about circulation, about fluid balance, about medications, and sometimes about organ function that needs medical attention. Now you have a framework to understand which category applies to you. A complete 5-step bedtime protocol to address the most common causes, clear information about medications worth discussing with your doctor, and the warning signs that require prompt medical evaluation rather than home management. The most important thing you can do tonight is start. Arrange the elevation, reduce the sodium at dinner, do the 5-minute massage. Be consistent. Your legs have carried you through your entire life. They deserve this kind of attention. If this was useful, share it with someone you know who mentions swollen feet or ankles regularly. It might be exactly what they needed to hear. And if you want more honest, practical health conversations built specifically for adults over 60, subscribe to this channel. We are here every single week. Take good care, and I will see you in the next one.